So I want you all to put your hands together and bring up the dynamic, the awesome Kennedy!
Hi. Okay. I was only, oh, hold on. Okay. I was only 8 or 9 the first time I was put into foster care. It was heartbreaking, coming home from school and finding out that you have to leave and switch schools. I was never in a bad home or anything like that, but it was still hard and difficult to adjust to a different lifestyle. From my first home, I was moved to Farmington Hills and I stayed there for 2 years. Then I would come home, then go back into foster care in a repeated cycle. I think I had about 5 or 6 different placements, and every time I had to change schools. It was draining going to therapy and talking about how I felt. I was really hurt that I didn't get to see my mom or siblings who were aged out. School was actually really good. I made friends, but it would hurt to leave those friends. Uh, Friends that I thought I'd keep. I never thought I was coming home because I had been there for so long. But one day, my caseworker said, "You're going home." And I never got to say goodbye. My friends were texting me and asking me where I was. They didn't even know I was in foster care. I didn't like to share that with people. But I'm happy that I am still in touch with them to this day. One time in 7th grade, I ran away with my mom. I didn't know that it was a crime, but that home was the worst one I was in. The foster mom was making me do her laundry, cook, clean. I talked to my workers about it, but they seemed like they didn't care. Her own kids didn't even do the laundry. So when my mom messaged me to leave, I was like, yes, pick me up from school. She picked me up, and I was on the run for a year. I missed my whole 7th grade year. That was the year COVID hit. Police were looking for me. People were looking for me on Facebook. That's when it became clear I shouldn't have gone with my mom. But I didn't want to go back to that house, so I was sitting at home watching YouTube for a year. So here's the thing. My mom was never neglecting me or abusing me, but my mom did call CPS on herself because my older sister was out of control and she didn't know what to do. So when CPS showed up, they said we had to take all the kids. We can't just take one. The summer after my 7th grade, I was finally found. I think my mom's cousin told the police. They came knocking on the door, and I had to hide. I stayed with another relative for a month, but the day I came home for some clothes, 5 or 6 police cars showed up. They asked me who was I, and I had to make up a quick lie. He asked again, and I said Mariah. He said, "Nice try. Your picture is up everywhere. I know who you are." Hours later, they placed me in a nice, loving home. It was a mini mansion in Waterford. I loved it there. I figured I would be there for a long time. I miss my mom, and I had a lot of built-up emotions. But I would still see my family on visits, and I was really loving this home. It was really nice being able to have freedom and post on TikTok because I didn't do that while being on the run or I risk getting found. I stayed with this family for about a month. One day, my caseworker showed up and said, "You have to leave." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, "You're going to a new home." And I didn't want to leave unless I was going home with my mom. I guess that was just a short-term placement, but they never told me. The new placement, I stayed there for at least most of my 8th grade year until I moved in with my auntie. I was doing virtual school, and I didn't like virtual school. A lot of kids would fail 8th grade. I know I did. It was boring, and I would zone out and fall asleep. I like physical interactions. I then moved in with my aunt. It was nice being with my family. At least that's what I thought. It turned into my own personal nightmare. I was blamed for things her daughters were doing, like stealing her clothes. I'm plus size. She's so much smaller than me. She claimed I was jealous and stole them and threw them away. I had my own personal bridge card that my worker gave me. She was buying her kids lunch with my card and not getting me anything. She didn't claim I stole the card. I told her, why would I steal something that's supposed to be getting spent on me? I started my 9th grade year at Cody High School, September of 2021. That is when I met Pristine from Student Advocacy Center. She was doing a presentation after school, and she said she had snacks, and she could teach us things. So my friend, Melania, and I went to check it out. We didn't know it would change us for the better. I wasn't able to keep doing Youth Action Michigan because my aunt couldn't pick me up. It hurt because I had actually found something I enjoyed doing. But Pristine will always say, "You're welcome to come back anytime." I then moved back in with my mom. I was able to stay at Cody. I was doing well. But in November, we got a visit from CPS. They took me again. They always find a reason to take me, but then I was back with my mom 2 months later. Everything was going well. I got to join YM again, and I was going to meetings weekly. But then at the end of the school year, my mom died. She had asthma and she kept getting sick. She was at the laundromat with my sisters and died. She couldn't catch her breath, so we called the ambulance. They took so long to get there. We went to the hospital and they discharged her. Days later, she had to go back. I wanted to go, but she made me go to school to take my finals. During that day, my last day, I got a text from my sister that my mom had went into cardiac arrest for 25 minutes. I just broke down. I went to the bathroom and cried. How do you come back from that? The next day, we went to the hospital. We thought she was going to get better, but a few days after that, we learned my mom was brain dead. That really hit hard. She wasn't getting better, and she was really gone. My siblings made the decision to take her off life support. It hurts after just getting your mom back after many years just to lose her again. Our bond was always strong, and I will always regret not getting to say goodbye. During this time, I did try to go to YM to get out the house. All I was doing was crying. My family was upset with me, but it really brought me happiness. Then I would come home just to cry some more. Transitioning into my 11th grade year was shaky. I started to suffer from depression, and I couldn't focus. I was still in the process of grieving. It was affecting my grades. I wasn't making it to school on time. Pristine drove me to school and back home. She helped me with my grades. She helped me with my credit recovery. She talked to the principal and advocated for me to get a computer so I can work more quickly on my credit recovery. I was becoming a leader at Youth Action. Pristine connected me with 482 Forward. She was teaching me about the school-to-prison pipeline and how to advocate for myself. Before that, I would let people run all over me. It has really helped me grow. I'm not afraid to say what's on my mind. I use my voice now. I used to have really bad social anxiety. I'm still working on it. After spring break, Pristine helped me connect with Lex, a student advocacy center mentor. She meets with me every week and she helps me out with rides. She helps me with resources. Anything that I need, she is there for me. I don't think I would have made it to 12th grade without Pristine or Lex. This summer, I got to go on a civil rights immersion trip with a bunch of other students in SAC. It was a 10-day trip. We went to Memphis, New Orleans, Atlanta, and many other places. I learned a lot. The museums hit hard. People are getting lynched for things that we do today without a thought. Knowing that history, I feel more empowered to make a change in my own community. Now I'm in my senior year. Life isn't easy right now. I am drained, but I want to finish strong for my mom. I have to finish this for her. Pristine's got my back, Lex, my principal. When I'm having a bad day, these are the people who check on me, encourage me. They give me resources. I've got my grandma, and I believe in myself. I got this.